Today we're in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, and we're in a neighborhood called Glen Arden. It was designed by the Olmsted brothers, and they were asked to do so to make a nice neighborhood at the tip of the Longmeadow Country Club. And they had done this for other areas in Massachusetts. And not only did they design the road system, they also were responsible for designing a few of the landscapes along the way. So they did a lot of work in this area. I believe 6 of the home landscapes were designed by them also. So they did a great deal of work in this neighborhood. The homes are mostly from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and by nature they're going to have a lot of different architectural styles to them. And they always love to put in curves in their road, and they also love to make sure that the houses on each side were at a different angle from each other and also at a different elevation from each other, so every home would have a different look, quite different landscape look of view that was different from its neighbors, so people could select which view would be suiting them the best. Gorgeous house down there, made of masonry rocks with sculptures in the front. It looks like a pond. I wonder if that's an Olmsted design. What I'm going to do is, when I figure out the Olmsted designs, is I'll put them on the page for Glen Arden, and we're going to have a listing. I did the same thing for the Wyckoff neighborhood in Holyoke, which was also at the tip of a golf course called the Wyckoff. So this neighborhood is a golf course embedded neighborhood. Now look on the right hand side, you see a very gorgeous house. Now in all cases, when the Olmsteds came here, always did it on the edge of a golf course that was designed by Donald Ross. And the same with the Longmeadow golf course. It was designed by Donald Ross himself, and he made gorgeous golf courses. And you can see they made little parks in the middle of the road 3 times. We're past 2 of them already now. Now when people hired the Olmsteds to do their landscape, that was besides the roads themselves. The road design is separate. So Olmsteds would have the engineer come back and do another work. Now there's a very modernistic looking house with a deep gully in front of it. I bet you that's another Olmsted one, but I'll look it up for sure just to be sure. So the work was so well done that a lot of these landscapes are still the same as they were about 90 years ago when they were made. Now, the Olmsted did not have to talk with Donald Ross, but sometimes they did, just to make sure that their joined work was beautiful. And here's another gorgeous house on the right-hand side. And we're passing the 3rd rendition of the parks in the middle of the road. And then in front of us is another gorgeous house. Got a nice landscape to it. So the homes are quite beautiful out here. And now we're on a circle where the Olmsted design, and the Olmsteds would actually plot out the lay of the land for these homeowners. And that way they got a good sense of what it was going to look like right when they're buying it. How was the land itself going to be laid out? They had these plots that they can buy into. And they did a great job to make it look natural, which they love, to make it look like the vegetation fit in. And a lot of these trees were planted 90 years ago. And it's still kept up to a great standard. From Ardsley, we went to Woodsley, also in the Glen Arden neighborhood. And remember, every little uprise was planned on purpose. Every little turn is planned on purpose. The engineers designed for these, the architectural design for these still exist, and they're on the Olmsted's national site webpage. There's another gorgeous home on our right again. There's one down there, small driveway right there, and then there's a beautiful home over here on our left-hand side, right, with a beautiful landscape out in front. Okay, another beautiful house on our right, and an absolutely gorgeous house on our left-hand side. Right. The roof line is quite gorgeous in this one. It looks like a new house is being built here. Okay, another gorgeous house on the left-hand side with a 3-bay garage. And beautiful, beautiful landscape in front of it. Can you pause it? Okay, so the outskirts, you're going to find also the golf courses to our left, and it blends right into the neighborhood on purpose. And then some of the outlying houses also blend in, and they do that on purpose. You can see across the street is a beautiful landscape to it. And everything was done on purpose by the Olmsted to make it look natural, and of course nothing is. Everything's artificially made to look gorgeous. And the 6 homes, I believe, that are Olmsted Design Landscapes, I'll write out for you, and we'll come back and do a landscape look at each one of those. All right, and it's quite pleasant to look at. It's in the very southernmost part of the eastern part of Longmeadow, very close to the Connecticut border. So what a great job they did, and it's most similar to the Wyckoff Park neighborhood in Holyoke and the Oyster Bay Golf Course on the Cape Cod, which also, all 3 of them have a Donna Ross Golf Course with Olmsted neighborhood right at its tip. So thank you very much for coming to this little neighborhood tour.